Hello. Hey ho, hey ho, hold on to hope. Okay, so today I'm going to do the Gunbreaker job quest first and then the Dancer job quest. I'm starting 2 hours after the time I would like to stream at 3 p.m. instead of 1 p.m. But hopefully it will be enough time to do those two job quests at least. And maybe start the Shadowbringers job quest. The Shadowbringers main story too. We just have to wait. Huh, I logged out here in Ul'dah. Anyway. Oh right, because the next Gunbreaker job quest is right here. I forgot about that. Oof. Yeah, this still hasn't changed. Still like 50 FPS at best whenever I stream. For better or worse. The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. We built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much difference, in the end. Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing our recent bit of good news? Ah, yes, it looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the Gate of Thal. We'll meet you there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I missed this. That jingle sounds so good. You're the bodyguard, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now... You've got to keep him away from us. What? I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes. Radovan, this sounds serious. Hear her out, would you? Very well, my apologies. Please continue. His name's Gerard. He won't leave us alone, and he keeps jumping out to harass us when we're by ourselves. If we were to go outside the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us. And when he does, I want you to scare him off. I doubt he'll show himself if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him a fright he won't forget in a hurry. Yes, that ought to work. Tim and I will live through this gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. Dang. Alright then. Hold on, my cat wants to go outside apparently, even though he just came from the outside, but okay. Sorry about that. It's not one of my streams without this happening at least once, or twice, or thrice, or 5 rice. That's one of her sounds like a nasty piece of work. We'd best be ready for trouble. And make it double, I mean, and divide it, yes. If he tries anything, make him pay. Are you waiting for Daddy? Remember, we've got a boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son, but I will if I have to, with all my weight. Okay. Get away from her! What? Who the bloody hells are you? Oh... Yeah, I had a feeling that this was going to happen. She's trying to trick us. Or maybe not. Friends of Uriel. Now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy. Your boy! You got no right to call him that. He belongs to me. Your final warning. Bother them again and you won't live to regret it. That is suspicious. That'll teach him. You are wonderful. More of every girl. Thank you so much. Yeah, very suspicious. That is super suspicious. It was our pleasure. Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence went way to my words. But most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work. Joa, hi Riot, how you doing? Yes, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, you two, there's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman. Hi. Hell's bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping her. I had a feeling that something like this would happen. This twist that actually... Whoa, all the way to Drybone, okay. I have a gorilla, I have a gorilla. Nya, 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 nya. I knew she was up to something. Yeah. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? That is a good question. What are we supposed to do with a runt like this? We fill him up, it might be worth something one day. He's selling her own child? We've got to stop them. I'm just consuming mac and cheese. Ooh, that's nice. Wait, is that... Enough of this! Stay away from my son! Son, eh? Ha! You should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. The sound effects work. Quickly, we've got to help him. Wait, what? Not now. Shurian, it's up to you. Of course he has something going on too. Makes sense, actually. We can't do much without a story. God, why now? Damn these seizures. Well. Is when our people here, like, level 63? That's way too high for you. Da, 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 da. Usually the, like, ruffians and bandits around here would be like level 10. You saved us. How can I ever... Oh. Juliana, I let you down. I let everyone down. But Sophie, what happened here? I knew from the moment I met Oriel there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't until later I realized. He's a somnus addict. Somnus? Somnus? Isn't that something from maybe Was it Final Fantasy 13? I don't know. I haven't played Final Fantasy 13, but there was something... Or was it 15? Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to keep her addiction hidden from most, but not from me. And probably not from her family either. Oh. Yes, I've known for a while, but I had no idea she'd do something like this. Gods, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. My dad spiraled beyond my control and she ran to get away from me, to start a new life with our son. Where did you gamble? The gold saucer? I mean, there they just use MGP, they don't use actual money. Not sure. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore. I vowed to turn my life around, and I worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. It made new friends, the wrong sort of friends, and had to resort to gods only know what would make ends meet. It became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. So you see, it wasn't only my life I ruined, but I made her who she is today. That's why I don't have it in me to hate her. What will you do now? I plan to send her to Frondale's frontistery. Probably some underground gambling hall. Yeah, probably Ulda. Yeah, Ulda will probably have something like that. Or he was betting in the Colosseum. Yeah, that makes more sense actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, you can bet in the Colosseum as well. They can treat people like Oreo, although it costs more than most folks can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while at least. We'll take it one day at a time and see how she responds to treatment. I know she might never recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously she is in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. What I'd like to know is Frondale Frontistery. I don't remember what place that is. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there will be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. I will, I swear it. Thank you all for everything you've done. Oh, happy ending all around. That's the end of the job story, right? That poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, only succeed in disgracing myself. Again. It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe Julia an explanation, though. Yes, if we are to fight side by side, there is something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Oh, that's a lot. Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a Magitech collar. Huh, that's a bone necklace. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electric shock anytime they pleased, and pleased them it did. The paralysis would eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up, as though the pain never left me and could reawaken at any moment. Oof. Yeah, those mess up your nerves for sure. Thankfully, my condition appears to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I will be free of it, but until then there is no telling when it might strike. Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin, ever since the first time we met in that Garion jail. Jail. I was awaiting execution along with the other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgents and undesirables. Among them were several Somnus addicts. Even in the Imperial jail, there are ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Oriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but she had the same look in her eyes as those lost souls. I don't remember ever even hearing about Somnus until now in this game. Somnus can also be, if I remember correctly, the Latin word for dreams or sleeping. Anyway, where was I? So, Radovan had been escaping the escape... escaping the escape, sorry. Uh, had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned, and was secretly digging a tunnel, a few elms each night, over the course of about 10 years. Why are you smiling? The only thing was, it went the wrong way. And one night, he suddenly burst through my wall. Okay, that's funny. Why did you have to tell her that? You know I'm far from proud of my miscalculation. I think it was mentioned much before this, to be fair. If it was mentioned at all, then it must have been like something very small, like just a small detail that completely went over my radar. Or under my radar, yeah. That's the expression, under my radar. Under. Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when you came crashing in, it drew the attention of the wardens, and all hell broke loose. Funnily enough, I think I said over my radar because I was mixing up, like, the expression of under my radar and over my head at the same time. Like, I was mixing both of them. Anyway. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guards, and by some miracle we managed to avoid their searchlights, and finally we were free. Free to return to my wife and child, to my homeland, or so I thought. While I'd been rotting away in a Yarvian cell, everything I knew, everything I loved had been taken from me. I should have been there, but I couldn't even... Enough of this. We've spoken over long as it is. Well then, where to next? I think I've had my fill of Ulta. Let's say we try our luck in Limsalominsa. I'm sure a change of scenery will do us a world of good. Yes, I like the sound of that. Let's reconvene at the local adventurers guild. Very well. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. City founded by pirates. Now that's a terrible idea if I ever heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left. But what of the views? The sea breeze! Oh, she has the sailor outfit now. Didn't even realize until now. It's cute. There'll be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we've a few more gil in our pockets. Juliana, we're still waiting for word from the guild, so perhaps you should find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime. Sure. Radovan didn't seem too impressed by the idea of going for a swim at Costatal Sol. You don't suppose he's scared of water, do you? Confessions of a Flaming Mongrel. You'll be pleased to hear that the Yellow Jackets have offered us an assignment. After taking on more than we'd bargained for with our previous clients, we're hoping this one will turn out to be relatively straightforward. We haven't heard what it entails yet, but I'll bet it's something important. A man called Futag Yafutag has arranged to meet us in Bulwark Hall. Let's go and see what he wants. Okay then. Oh, Alfel. It's such a cool jingle, I love it so much. There's a goblin here? The Jingui Shine, no busy deal. It says I will give you the Jingui Shine when I get it. Why have I never noticed that goblin there? Weird. I'd be surprised if Radovan can swim, so he's definitely not interested in Coastal Soul. Probably not. Hi, Delicate Tanmo. Is your spy or rather undercover work going well? I remember. I remember. Thank you for coming at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. We want you to protect Gold Whites, who was until recently leader of the Flaming Mongrels. They were once a gang of raiders, but eventually settled in Limsa Lominsa to extort and rob their way to a position of considerable influence in the criminal underworld. That all ended when Gold Whites turned himself in. No one saw it coming, not even the other Flaming Mongrels. He's due to give testimony in exchange for a reduced sentence. Not just about the crimes he committed himself either. All the gangs he's had dealings with have ample reason to silence him before he spills his secrets. He's currently being held in the Morbide dry docks. Your job is to see that he reaches Limsa in one piece. So, you want us to act as bodyguards to a criminal? I don't like the sound of that. We'd be protecting the information that's in his head, which could be used to bring countless other lawbreakers to justice. It sounds like a worthwhile cause to me. It's what I am on the Gunbreaker quest, so I have no idea if I'm remotely close. Oh, really? You need to level up Gunbreaker. Hey, look, Riot. I'm streaming something that you haven't seen yet. Isn't that wild? It is, and before you... See, even Futag agrees. It is crazy. And before you ask why we're hiring outsiders, it's to avoid tension. If I pull too many yellow jackets from their posts, the gangs will figure out what's going on. Better to give the impression that it's business as usual while using professionals like you to escort them in secret. We still need to secure the route, so I'll go on ahead and see to the preparations. Come and find me at the dry docks when you're ready. Before we begin, we should find out more about this Gold White. While it's important to place our trust in the client, I don't want to repeat the mistake we made last time. Very well. Now there's plenty I haven't seen, especially in terms of job quests. Yeah man, there's just so much game that you haven't seen yet. I like game. If the rumors are true, the Flaming Mongrels are involved in most of the money lending and extortion that goes on in the city. Gold Whites was at the center of this web, overseeing every aspect of these clandestine activities. Now he has finally found the decency to give himself up. I imagine that his former associates would rather he kept quiet concerning their dealings. Makes the sense? Oh yes, everybody has heard of the Flaming Mongrels. Their modus operandi is to offer loans, increasing interest to the extent that their mark has no hope of ever paying it back, and enforcing that poor soul to obey their every whim. Also, there's a minion I found that has a weird description. Which one? Which minion, by the way? I'm not at liberty to discuss an ongoing investigation. I can say, however, that many Yellow Jackets believe heartless curs like Gold Whites deserve nothing less than death. He and his rogues have left only tragedy and despair in their wake. Mercy would be a waste. Do you hear anything useful? Yes, it's just as Futag said. Gold White certainly has a lot of enemies on both sides of the law. Shinomaru. I'm not sure if I have that one. I'll go check. Radovan, it's not too late to refuse. Think about what you're doing. Trust me, I have. Now let's say no more on the matter. We have a job to do. It's a little ninja dog. Yeah, I have no idea if I have it or not. I have like 9 pages of minions. Nope, I do not. Oh wait, Motorbike dry docks. It kind of depends. Is it a minion that shows up later? In a later expansion? Or is it actually from like A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood? If it is from Stormblood or before Stormblood, then I'm actually kind of surprised that I don't have it. But if it is from after that, then yeah, of course I don't have it. Makes perfect sense that I don't have it. All set? Good. It's time to bring out the prisoner. Stormblood themes. Oh, yeah, because ninja. But I think you meant to say I'm not sure when it came out. I don't know. Just put the description down, if you want to. Just put in the chat description. I present Goldwarts, Scourge of Wintholominsa. His life's in your hands now. Guard him well. Okay, let's see. This white ninja dog once served the Hingan Kunoichi Yosakura. Driven by a keen sense of duty, he decided to follow you in gratitude for laying his mistress's soul to rest. Huh. Written upon the scroll he carries is an ancient ninjutsu technique for parting people from their treats. That's great. Driven by a keen sense of duty, he decided to follow you in gratitude for laying his mistress's soul to rest. That sounds like it's after a main story quest or a side quest. So that makes it sound like that's the case anyway. If it is, then yeah, it's after Stormblood, probably. Because I've done literally everything from Stormblood and before. Thank you kindly. Are you sure you've got the right man? Quite sure. Now, listen carefully. It's important. We've scouted the road ahead and we've spotted a group of unsavory figures lying in wait. The plan is to put them down and rush past before anyone realizes what's happened. Well, if that's how you'd prefer us to handle it, then very well. But we'll need someone to take the lead and cut through their ambush. Oh, but I forgot, I haven't done the extremes. Yeah, I forgot about that. I actually haven't beaten the Stormblood extremes. Extreme trials. I forgot about that. I've only done 2. Susano and Shinryu. I forgot to do the others. I actually forgot. My bad. I already have the Kamuis anyway, so yeah. I choose you for that role, Jorian. Show me how far you've come as a Gunbreaker. Wait, what role? Well, if that's how you'd prefer us to handle it, then very well, but we'll need someone to take the lead and cut through their ambush. Okay. You gave me the cool role. The rest of us will stay close to Goldwhites and fend off any that try to flank us. Futag, I give you my word that we'll get him to Wintholominsa, even if I have to carry him there. If you want to bounce over to see sometime, I'll run those with you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe sometime. My cat is meowing for some reason, I don't know why. Oh, Oscar, que foi? He stopped meowing. Oscar? Oscar? He stopped meowing. I don't know. We're depending on you, Juliana. Once you've cleared the path, we'll be right behind you. We'll regroup at Oshton's embrace and assess the situation before moving on. Frosty the Snowman has his arm mauled by a pup. He will not let go. Out there in the snow, this dog would not let up on Frosty the Snowman. Tried his best to grin and bear had he had his hat, and this little brat would be sailing through the air. So, Bart chewed on a snowman, killed a snowman. Is that what you're saying? Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Yes, I do think I can stop you. Now that was on YouTube recently, this little pupper trying to get a snowman's arm and couldn't get it. Ah, okay. Waiting, 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 waiting. A pretty poor attempt at an ambush, without the element of surprise there, nothing. Yes, very impressive, but I'll save my thanks until we reach Linfa, if you don't mind. I bring bad news, I'm afraid. Those men weren't here to ambush you, they were only lookouts. The bulk of the enemy force lies ahead. We'll take the prisoner to a safe hiding place until those rogues have been dealt with. What? Why wasn't I informed sooner? We only just received the information ourselves. I'm to take the prisoner into custody, while you are to return to your post until further notice. As for the hirelings, their services are no longer required. This is so... Nah. It was already suspicious before, but now that you said that the hirelings are no longer required, that's even more suspicious. Look, if you've got a problem, take it up with Commodore Reiner. They're his orders, not mine. Alright, you've made your point. Well, that's that, I suppose. Nevertheless, I'll see that you receive the full amount, as agreed. It was a pleasure working with you. Yeah, come on now. It's kinda obvious. Gunbreaker just gets all of these shady characters. Doesn't it? Something about this doesn't add up. Sure, it would make more sense for Futai to go with them. Besides, our agreement was to see Goldwhite's tool in Solominsa, and that's exactly what I intend to do. You too, come with me. It looks like the shoe's on the other foot this time, so I can hardly refuse. Come on, before he does something we'll regret. Please don't make it so that since he's the one who's suspicious this time, nothing will actually happen. Please don't do that. That would suck. Ba 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 da da. Ba 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 da da. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da da da. I've done the Hildebrand quest. I'm an inspector extraordinaire. Inspectress extraordinaire. Just like that one Doman child. Oh no, I forgot her name. But that one Doman child. He also wants to be an inspectress extraordinaire. I know these things. I already called it. She took him inside. My guess is correct. There's no time to waste. For it but to follow him, I suppose. Stop this at once. It's kind of funny that this captain guy has only had one line so far. He also may just be a bait. Stay out of it, Sellsword. My friend's dead because of this filth. He's got no right to live, so why would you protect him? Oh, I thought she was with them, but no. Okay, she's one of the Yellow Jackets that wants him dead. Okay. Because I gave my word. So he may be beyond redemption. He acts not for his own sake, but for the good of others. His testimony will make Limthal means a safer place. Now, lower your axe. I think the 12 you got here when you did. Okay, yeah, I thought too much of it. I was right to think it's suspicious, obviously suspicious, but I had the entire little story here wrong. Like, all twisted. I think the 12 you got here when you did. It didn't take long for us to find out it was all a ruse, but by then she'd already bought enough time to carry out her plan. Luckily for us, the three of you weren't so easily duped. Of course, she's not the only Yellowjacket to bear a grudge against Goldwhite, but I never thought any of us would go to such lengths. Fine bloody mess this is. I like this music. While we may have been waylaid somewhat, our orders to escort Goldwhite still stand. Before we go, I want to thank you for all you've done. Truth is, I ain't got long to live. Even if I can escape having me head lopped off, the sickness will get me sure enough. Ah. Okay then. Because without your days as one of the leading figures in the underworld, which ain't powerful, what made you turn yourself in? Since before I can remember, I've been cheating and killing to put food in belly and gill in my pocket. And I was good at it too. Worked me way to the top. The top of what? A bunch of liars, swindlers, and murderers. Well, yeah, that... like you? And when I found out I only have a few moons left, I realized Limps is the way it is because of people like me. It ain't gonna be that way though, not if I say my piece. In that case, we'd best get you to Limsa, post haste. Aye, before I kick the bucket. Either way. Okay, he's not a... Also, he's not a double, a volley double, maybe. He might still be. Not the most direct route, but we got here in the end. All that remains for Goldwhite to give his testimony. On behalf of the Yellowjackets, I offer my thanks. You've kept your word. Now it's my turn. Fare you well. Bye-bye. Bye. Every city has its problems, this one more than most. It is high time we moved on. Seeing as we've been to Alamigo, Gridania, Ulda, and Limsolominsa, that just leaves Ishgard. I don't exactly thrive in cold climates, though. You just came from Garlemald, that's even... Isn't that even colder than Curtis? Or that's what I've been led to believe, kinda? Just get yourself a decent overcoat and you'll be fine. Well then, let's be off. Very well. Well, ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. She's always changing outfit, that's cute. Why would anyone want to live here? Even with these thick clothes, I'm frozen to the bone. I'll admit it's a fair bit colder than I was expecting. Not it's anything to be concerned about. That's easy for you to say. You'll soon get used to it, I'm sure. Anyway, Joriana, it seems that instead of offering work via an adventurers guild, Ishgard's Temple Knights issue leaves. Although there do not appear to be any clients in need of protection, it is only a matter of time before something comes our way. Until then, be sure not to let your skills or your gunblade go rusty. As defectors and defenders. We Wrothgar are quite used to snow and ice, so we sometimes forget the problems it poses for other races. This morning, a homeless hero lad was found lying stone cold in the street. Huh. When they came to carry him away, he was frozen solid like a statue. The poor thing can have been more than 20 summers old. Wow. If this was Heavensward, we would just straight up say that he he was died. That he died. How did I go from he dead to he was died, and finally, I said he died. Oh my god. I need water. I need water. Now that you can use the market portal, I must know if you have heard of the website Universalis. I have. I even used it before I got out of the free trial. That's how I knew which items to keep and then sell later. When they came to carry him away, he was frozen solid. It is a very useful tool. Yeah, I like that. I like it. It's very nice. We asked the Temple Knights if there was something we could do, and we were told that they had the perfect assignment for us. Our client this time is Reese of Garland Ironworth. Oh. Their founder, Sid Garland, is one of the few Garlands who have turned his back on the Empire. He's a hero to many living under their rule. I wonder if I might have the honor of meeting him in person. At any rate, we must first head to the Sky Steel Manufactory. Oh. Okay, the Machinist Guild. Okay. Who is going to lie to us this time? Good evening. I take it you're the bodyguard sent by the Temple Knight? There's someone I'd like you to protect. A recently defected Garland engineer, as it happens. I'll not bore you with the details, but he is to oversee the installation of a cerulean heating system. We're hoping to avert tragedies like the one that recently occurred in the Broom. Yes, we saw the body being carried away. Okay, no, he was actually dead. My bad. It's weird that it was kinda... The dialogue kinda made it sound more like a joke than anything, so I just assumed that he didn't die. But no, I guess he did die. But then that's kinda weird though, like... Sure, there's still people living in the Broom, but... At this point in Shadowbringers... I mean... I know that feels weird. That just doesn't sound right. Yes, we saw the body being carried away. Terrible sight it was. This engineer friend of yours needs safe passage here. We'd be glad to help. Unfortunately, the Empire does not take kindly to desertion, especially when the man in question is one of its most highly esteemed scientists. We've received word that a group known as the Alodi has been dispatched to see that he never reaches Ishgard. God be good. I've heard of them. Prisoners offered an opportunity to reduce their sentences through loyal service to Garlemald. By all accounts, they fight like men possessed, desperate to earn their freedom. Worst of all, they are led by Vitas Quo Messala, a man whose cruelty knows no bounds. As a soldier, he reached the rank of pilot prior, but was relegated after butchering a village of innocent civilians, purely to save his own bloodlust. Even his fellow guardians were disgusted by this barbaric acts. Yet that did not damage his reputation as a skilled warrior, equal to Gaius van Belsar himself. During my imprisonment, Vitus Quo Messala came to enlist me. I told him I'd sooner rot in jail than serve under a rabid dog like him. As you can imagine, he was far from pleased with my refusal, and tried to persuade me by using my Magitech collar to administer countless electric shocks. I'll never forget the look in his eyes as he pushed that button over and over. Of course, not everyone is as resilient as Radovan. Many who fight for the Alode do so against their will, though they are no less deadly for it. By the fury, if I'd known the dangers involved, I would have called the whole thing off. It's too late now, though. The airship is already on its way to Cursus. It should soon be arriving at the observatorium. Sadly, we couldn't gain permission to have an Imperial craft dock in the city for matters of security. From the rendezvous point, we'll proceed the rest of the way on foot. Once we're safely inside the Gates of Judgment, we can consider the mission a success. Your friend is risking his life for the sake of others. Reese, I give my word that he will reach Ishgard safely. Listen, Sophie, you know as well as I do that the Alloday are as ruthless as they are tenacious. For that reason, I want you to stay behind. If you can take them on without me there to heal you? Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have you by my side, but against foes like that, Jorian and I will struggle to protect you and the engineer. Protecting me? Look, Radovan, we're protecting each other, remember? Or perhaps you see me as nothing but a burden. Fine, have it your way. Not to rush you or anything, but we should get going. I'll meet you at the airship landing on top of the tower. Okay. Before we leave, there's something I'd like to make clear. I didn't mean what I said to Sophie. I think she's an excellent conjurer and more than capable of taking care of herself. But this is Vita's Kuomasao we're dealing with. A monster who delights in toying with his prey. I can't let her face that kind of danger. You see, Sophie and I have been inseparable ever since we escaped our Garland captors. When I discovered what had befallen my family, I came close to taking my own life. I might have even gone through with it if Sophie hadn't stopped me. She's lost loved ones too, but has never given up hope. Sophie helped me realize there is still a place in this world for me. In fact, it was her idea that I become a bodyguard. Although no one will ever replace the family I lost, she helped fill that void in my life and gave me a reason to carry on. If she were here now, she would tell me to stop being such a sentimental old fool. Or words to that effect. Anyway, the sooner we finish this assignment, the sooner I can get back here and apologize to her. Alright then. Oh, it's not playing the Curses music? I like the Curses music. Oh well. I like the Curses music. Now that you're here, allow me to introduce the man you will be escorting. Very well. Kato Nan Mamula at your service. So do you think I could persuade you to server hop to see in a bit? Okay, sure. Or should that be Kato Mamula now that I am in Ishgard? Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Master Mamula is carrying documents liberated from the Empire that could prove vital in Garland Ironworks' investigation of Omega. Huh? Huh? What? Okay. This may lead to an increased likelihood of encountering Imperial pursuers, however. Well then, shall we begin? So this Kato guy is evil. Right? I was just thinking that he's evil. Give them what for? They knew we were coming. Oh, well, they must have seen that airship from miles away. I'll stay with the engineer. You go on ahead and draw them out. We'll rendezvous at the camp to the north. Very well. I like that. The level 70 weapons here are Skaven, like augmented Skaven, augmented Skaven. Does that mean that Nero made them? They have the Ironworks design too, like the level 50 weapons, the Rowena level 50 weapons. So yeah, they were made by the Ironworks, and these are probably specially made by Nero too, like because his name is Nero Tolskeva, right? These are Skaven weapons, which is cool. A cool little detail. But yeah, Riot, let me just do this job quest real quick, and I'll go to Oceania for a bit. I should have the Oshpa minion, yes. I should. Let me check. Yeah, I do. I probably got it from a side quest. I think it's from a side quest, I'm not sure. But yeah, like I usually... That is sad. Oh, I bet. I probably read it. I usually read all the descriptions. Let's see. First son of House Hylanard to honor the passing of one of House Portam's greatest knights. This miniature replica of the great Porsheva gravestone only begins to tell the tale of a man who devoted his life to the service of his nation and his friends. Very cute. Quite fond of you. This composed cataloger. Yeah, he was. He was very fond of us. Oh, Brancel made that. Aw. Right, House Hylanard. Yeah, makes sense. Some of the Owls stayed in their hiding place until youth passed. One of them got to Reese. It's hard, but it could have been a lot worse. I'm sorry, they caught me by surprise. We've made it this far, but Vitas is still out there. If it's just a taste of what the Owls have in store for us, our best option is to avoid confrontation altogether. Mamula and I will sneak past them while you and Reese stay behind. Something's gonna happen with you and Mamula together. The two of us stand a better chance than a group of 4. It's going to turn out that Mamula maybe made those chalks in those colors in the first place. No, we should stick together, right? I know how you feel, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You see the sense in this, don't you? We'll meet back in Ishgard. Very well then. Your hair is clipping through your clothes, by the way. My colleagues will contact me via link portal once Master of Mamula has arrived in Ishgard. In the meantime, we should lie low. We don't want to alert the Alozai to our presence any more than we already have. Oh, and I'd better get his wounds looked at. Something's gonna happen. Thank goodness you're alright. You've been gone so long, I came looking for you. I met a few nasty characters on the way here, but I soon sent them packing. Wait, where's Radovan? And that engineer you're supposed to be escorting? Kato and Mamula? Whoa, music. The two of them are together, then... Radovan never talks to anyone about it, but he comes from a place called Bozja? Oh, Bozja. Bozja Citadel. It was utterly destroyed in a Garland experiment gone wrong. Ooh. I've heard of it in the Omega story. And also a lot of people in the Novice Network, and literally everyone mentions it, so of course I already know what it is, but... still, I know it from the Omega story. In charge of the project were Midas Nangarwan and his right-hand man, Kato Nan Mamula. Radovan's opposition to Wazja being used as a testing ground for potentially dangerous magitech led to his imprisonment, and his fears were proved correct when the city was obliterated. There's a strong chance that he's planning to exact his revenge. He was just talking about things like this in Limsa, that we shouldn't kill the guy that's trying to redeem himself. He headed west towards Ishgard, yes? We should be able to follow their tracks. There's no time to lose. Also, he might be evil too. Kato. Might be evil. Although, funnily enough, Kato, the name at least, C-A-T-O, that's how you spell cactus in Portuguese. Probably Spanish too, but I don't know. But at least in Portuguese, I can tell you right now, that's how you spell cactus. While the actual pronunciation is Kato. You basically pronounce it like it's a U at the end, instead of an O. Cutscene. Why is my hair going like that? Yeah. You're going far away. For my homeland. For my family. We just went over this in Limsa, by the way. Join the wild hair monster. Wazja. A confrontation against him, I was expecting that in like level 70. The level 70 job quest, not 68. Joriana? Stay back. You've been robbed me of everything I held dear. Don't deny me my vengeance. You swore to protect him. I'll not beg your forgiveness. However, I ask that you hear my final words. Midas and I knew there were risks involved in the experiment, but we did not foresee that it could fail so catastrophically. I have with unending, agonizing guilt ever since. On that day 4th, I have sought redemption, a chance to somehow right the wrongs I have committed. That is why I asked Midas' son, Sid, to aid in my defection from Garlemald, that my knowledge and expertise may be put to good use. Yeah, just like the pirate in Limsa? Come on, remember your own words? But I always knew that the sins of my past could return to haunt me. I submit myself to your judgment. Have you forgotten about gold whites? Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying. What have I become? I honor the Gunbreaker. As a man, I've thrown it all away. You are the last of us now. There's the level 70 boss. Oh, they have those. Oh, the color is green. Okay then. You want us to kill him now, sir? No, the old goat can wait. It's a prowling lion I want. Yes, your head will make a fine trophy. Look up. No, they're not there. This trope will always be funny. It is always funny no matter what. I'm sorry. Is Mamu alright? And where's Radovan? Wandered off? But we still got a job to do. I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't stopped them. Come on, Joriana. Before we fought Radovan, we still have a job to do. Let's get Mamu at Wishguard. After the trouble we had reaching Camp Dragonhead, I'm pleasantly surprised that the owl they kept away from us for the remainder of the journey. Yes, fortunate indeed. All's well that ends well, as the saying goes. One thing still troubles me, though. If that Vitus Quo Misawa is as ruthless as you say, I doubt the walls of Ishgard will deter him from pursuing his target. As such, Master Mamula will be closely guarded until we can be certain it's safe. Yes, it would be a shame if I were kept from fulfilling my obligations. I hope that next time we meet I shall have glad tidings to share. We managed to get Mamula here unharmed, but in doing so we've lost sight of Radovan. He could be anywhere by now. But we've been through too much for me to turn my back on him now. If he decides to get his act together, he knows where to find me. Until then, we'd better be on the lookout for the Holiday. I doubt we've seen the last of them. Okay, Steal against Steel. Continuation. How's the firing of successive rounds? Oh, yeah, I do have this, kinda. Over here. I unlocked this while I was doing Heaven on High with Gunbreaker. Okay, so I don't think I can switch to Oceania. Oh wait, no, I have to log out. I forgot about that. Okay, right now I'm gonna go to Oceania then. Riding home, riding home. I moved on Sephiroth. Sephiroth! It's Sephiroth, but... Sephiroth! Estons interis irave ementi, estons interis irave ementi, Sephiroth! Say my name, Sephiroth! That's also the music that plays when you go against Sephiroth in Heaven's Wars. Not Sephiroth, Sephiroth. Anyway, I'm gonna go... Yeah, I will spawn here in Ulta. Okay, where are you? Riot, where art thou? I'm guessing you're coming to me because I don't know where you could be. You were probably waiting in like Ishgard or something since that's where I was before, but there you are. Oh wow, you don't have your eye patch anymore, you're just covering both eyes now. You're very red. Which is actually funny for me to say because I'm also very blue sometimes. Ooh, Viper. Anyway. What you got? Was there something you wanted to show me? Cool glamour. A wear bun. Yvette unleashed. Sorry. Yvette unleashed though. Think about that. I still need to work on my paladin a little bit. But the top part is great. I like it. Good glamour though. Heart of Stone. That's the name of the song that plays when for Titan in Final Fantasy XVI. Heart of Stone. Great song. Oh, okay then. Thanks for showing me. I appreciate it. But now I'm gonna go back to the European server because here, like, everything for me is, at least the ping makes everything slower, and I tried to play here in Oceania, by the way, Oceania, or however it's pronounced. It's not great. It's not very good. But thank you. Thanks. Oh. Hug. Okay, thanks again. And I apologize, but I do actually, like, generally... Really quick follow. Oh, okay, fine. Let's hope I still have time to continue the Dancer job quest and the Shadowbringers. And start the Shadowbringers main story afterwards then. What do you need? Oh, okay, yeah. Meh. That looks like a button name. Okay then. Okay, go. Right. Let me see if I can still, like... Because I'm on a bit of a tight schedule, because I even started streaming like 2 hours after when I wanted to actually stream. So I have like even less time that I thought I would have. I appreciate it. It was fine. It was nice. Thank you. Turn to homeworld. I just hope I have time to at least start Shadowbringers. I want to. I really want to. This is such a sick... I love this title screen so much. Oh, did you get the complete edition when you got the game? What do you mean? When you buy the game, you just get everything up until the latest expansion, right? Or did you think I got the starter edition or something? Because the starter edition is like a scam. I'm just gonna be honest. The starter edition is an actual scam. You can only go up until Stormblood, like the free trial, but you also play at the same time. That's such a scam. That is awful. So yeah, I got the full game. I won't even be able to get Gunbreaker, or Dancer, or Sage, or Reaper if I got the starter edition, right? Which, again, only emphasizes just how much of a scam it is. For better or worse, the holiday are nowhere to be seen. You can get the expansion individually, so I just want to make sure you didn't do that. Really? You can get them individually? That sucks. I didn't even know that was an option. I just got the game. Like, the full game. When you know, on sale too. Well, earlier this year, actually, around January of this year, it was on sale. Just like how it is now. That's when I bought the full game. I had no idea you could just buy expansion individually. That sucks. That is actually genuinely awful. How do you even do that? I thought there was only like the starter edition and the complete edition. I thought those were the only options. For better or worse, the owls are nowhere to be seen. Reese and the others seem to think they've abandoned their mission and gone back to Garlemald, which I highly doubt. For them, failure simply isn't an option. Okay, I'm just seeing a bunch of German in the chat. Hold on. That's... No. I don't speak German. But what I want to know is, where is Radovan? I've got a good mind to pack up and leave him here. Or at least find somewhere warmer to wait for him. It's a lesser known option, but it is an option the Square Enix store. That sucks. That is so bad. That is genuinely so bad. If there's one thing I can bear, it's standing about doing nothing, especially somewhere as literally cold as this. I know, let's go and ask the Temple Knights if they have any work for us. I don't think I have ever taken a leave from here. Or maybe I have? Not sure. If I did, it was only like once, probably. What took you so long? I've already been and spoken to them. Anyway, there's a client looking for protection, but they wish to remain anonymous. We're supposed to meet them in a place called Twin Pools, which is in Western Curses, apparently. Seeing as we have nothing better to do, we may as well go and find out what they want. You should pass the time until Radovan comes back, if nothing else. Let's listen to Painted Foothills for a little bit. Painted Foothills, my beloved. My favorite field theme in Heavensward. And it's not even close. Actually, no, it is kinda close for a few, but it is my favorite. It's nice if you have limited funds and got the starter edition. If you catch it during a time when the game isn't on sale. Sure, but I mean, the starter edition only lets you go up until Stormblood anyway, so if you have limited funds, just play the free trial. That way, if you have limited funds, you can save up for the complete edition when you want to actually transfer over. Just play the free trial. Like, come on. At that point, yes, people don't know about the free trial in time. Really? It's a whole meme and everything, but yeah, okay, fair enough. There are people who actually don't know. I have seen a few people who don't know. So, yeah, I get what you mean. I'm remembering now that I have actually met a few people that don't know about the free trial somehow. My prayers have been answered. I was beginning to think the Temple Knights had forgotten about me. Now it is, but before that point... Oh yeah, the free trial only went up until level 30 in the Realm Reborn, but that's like over 4 years ago. That's before Shadowbringers, before like 5.3 or something. So it's over 4 years ago. Potentially almost 5 years ago, or something like that. It's been a while. My prayers have been answered. I was beginning to think Temple Knights had forgotten about me, and I forgot that I already read this line. I do hope you will forgive my need for secrecy. The nature of my request is very sensitive, you see. Now, if you would be so kind as to follow me. I can't break free. Oh, yeah, it's the guy. He's a Dark Knight? That's why it's lesser known, because the purchase for the expansion is redundant now. Oh, right, sorry. Yeah, that's... You were still talking about the purchasing expansions individually. Yeah, my bad. Wriggle all you want, little fly, nothing skips my web. I can't believe this guy is smarter than most villains so far. But it would be a shame for you to die without knowing the name of the spider who ensnared you. I am Vitas Quo Misala, commander of the Holiday. When we came to collect that old goat who had strayed from the herd, I never expected to find a prowling lion. Or should I say, warrior of light. There are many in Garumal who would be delighted were I to present your corpse. Is that a typo? Does he actually mean corpse or is it corpse? Like my body, you know? I doubt that restoring me to Pilo's prior will suffice. No, Legatus would be far more fitting. Vitus Van Masala has such a wonderful ring to it. Yes, so cool, I can almost taste it. Your tail ends here. Wow, you're making it really easy, not even... Oh, music! That's cool music, that's some cool music. Radovan, where the bloody hell have you been? I like this. I like this very much. Tracking the owl there. That's how I knew they'd come after you, Juliana. Prisoner 1441, if I'm not mistaken. First you refuse my kind offer, then you have the audacity to escape. And now this. Whatever I am to do with you. You're not the only one with a few tricks up its sleeve, Vitus. Or is it Vitus? Like Titus or Titus. Hey. When we first encountered the Owl Day, I noticed the colors that they were wearing. I had one myself not so long ago. It must be your way of maintaining this discipline. I took one of them to Mamua, who engineered a device similar to yours. How ironic that the very colors you are so fond of could be turned against you. Oh well, that sucks. I was hoping we could still save them. Eesh. Okay, yeah, wow. Worthless dogs. Of course, I never needed the Owl Day or those Magitech traps to slay the likes of you. But I prefer to leave nothing to chance. No matter. We will just have to settle this the old-fashioned way. Speaking of which, where did you find those antiques? If you think they can compare to Garion Gunblade, you are wrong. Very wrong. He is not a... He's not a Dark Knight, but he had it on his back like it was those claymores that Dark Knights have. As much as I wish to fight him alone, there is more at stake here than my pride. We must rid the world of this beast once and for all. Juliana, Sophie, follow my lead. Oh! Still reason, my beloved. You hold still while I take your head, little lion. I would make a present. Present for it to the Emperor himself. As for your friends, I am more than happy to hack them to pieces. When I told you he rivaled Gaius and Belstar, there was no exaggeration. Watch out, Oriana. It's you he's after. Yeah, I noticed. What? Why is the game minimized? Why is the game minimized? I can see. Okay. Oh hey, I know that. I advise you get out of that there, Sophie. Oh. I didn't know this. Oh, hold on for the count. Okay. Enjoyed our little game, but the time has come to end it. This does not look good. Zulti, help me form a barrier. Understood. There's no choice but to use Final Bastion. Cool. Let's find me long enough. We made it, but that took everything we had. Oh, it's gonna be cool. I will do what I can. I'll spend a little flies. Now, Warrior White, there is no one left to save you. Usually I'm showing the true strength of a Gunbreaker, right? I'm gonna. The true strength of someone being very hyped up with still reason. Oh, I made a mistake. That's not the correct. That wasn't the correct button. I just took so much damage for no reason. How dare you? How dare you? Sorry, I like still reason a lot. Never thought I'd live to see the day that Vito's cool Messala met his match. You were a better Gunbreaker than I ever was. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for all the trouble I've put you both through. You're sorry? I should bloody well hope so too, you great oaf. What were you thinking threatening Mamula like that? Not to mention leaving us to escort him to Ishgard. When Joriana found me and Mamula, I noticed the Alloday watching us from a nearby cliff top. I thought it was strange that they'd passed up the opportunity to attack us, so I made it appear as though I'd abandoned you and started following them in secret. I discovered that the primary target was now the Warrior of Light, not Kato Mamula. Their scout saw you on the way to Camp Dragonhead and reported it to Vitus, who then called off the ambush to see for himself if the information was valid. Powerful as he would never show his hand unless he was certain of victory, so he waited to make his move. Yeah, and somehow the smartest villain so far too. Just because of that one capture. One thing I didn't know for certain is that even if the three of us fought together, we wouldn't stand a chance against the full might of the Alloday. That was when I decided to consult our fugitive engineer. We talked into the early hours of the morning until we reached an understanding, and he agreed to construct the Magitech control device. In order for the plan to work, I would have to remain hidden until the very last moment, even from the two of you. But I thought you needed time alone to think about what you've done. The remorse I felt for dishonoring myself was no act. When I realized Mamua's identity, I wanted to confront him about Bozja, but I needed to get him away from from you and Reese. I never had any intention of killing him. All I wanted was for him to admit to his crimes. Well, this was the fourth time I was fooled in the Gunbreaker story, and third time was the charm, because I was honestly like, yeah, I was completely taken in by his acting this time. The other two times were the other NPCs were trying to trick us. It was obvious, but not this time. But it still gave me a sick sense of satisfaction to see him on his knees, defeated. Excuse me. That is when I knew I betrayed the ideals of the Gunbreaker, but I had abandoned my honor. I want to thank you for guiding me back to the true path. With Vita's gone, any remaining members of the Allowday are free of his control and are likely to be treated as fugitives running from the Empire. In any case, I think it is safe for Mamua to come out of hiding now. We're just going to leave his dead, lifeless body here and all of his captives. It was funny. It would be funny if his body were still here, you know. Then it would be gone, of course. But in that one instance, while we were still there, his body was just lying there. Allow me to express my gratitude for vanquishing the Allowday, which I understand was due in no small part to Radovan's marvelous idea involving the Magitech colors. I'm glad to hear the device I cobbled together functioned as intended. Yes, we couldn't have done it without your help. Vitus alone pushed the three of us to our limits. Had the Allowday joined the fight, things would have ended very differently. We owe you our lives. All things considered, it was the least I could do. A remarkably simple matter, in fact, compared to my next endeavor, the installation of Ishgar's ceruleum heating system. While I may never be able to adequately repay the kindness I have been shown, I must begin somewhere, until we meet again. Juliana, since I first met you, I knew you had the potential to become a Gunbreaker. As the only one of my clan to escape the destruction of Bozja's citadel, I thought the art of the Gunblade would die with me. Now that I have passed on all I know to you, my successor, I feel that there is little for you to gain from taking on assignments with us. There are no more job quests from Shadowbringers onwards, I fear. Yes, we can hardly expect the Warrior of Light to spend valuable time assisting us with our money-making schemes. Before we part ways, however, there is one last place I would like to visit with you. I hear that a great many adventurers who hope to make a name for themselves head to Revenant's Toll. I imagine there will be plenty to keep us busy. But more than anything, I am hoping to find others to whom I can impart the teachings of my clan. Once people see you with your gunblade strapped to your back, I'm sure it will pique their curiosity. So, will you come with us? Sure. Man, it would have been great to do the Gunbreaker story last time, because that's what I need to go afterwards to do the Shadowbringers, to start the Shadowbringer story. It's just right there. I must confess, we would have struggled to find a place without you. Yes, when I first heard about a remote settlement populated almost entirely by adventurers and the like, I was expecting it to be a lot more lawless and chaotic. Knife fights over card games, that sort of thing. What a pleasant surprise it turned out to be. But with a luck, I'll find candidates to train as Gunbreakers. Although it goes against the traditions of my clan to teach outsiders, meeting you has proved to me that we were being overly cautious. Still be cautious. You see, the Gunblade is forged for one purpose, to protect. We fear that its techniques will fall into the hands of those who seek to oppress and conquer, such as the Guardians and the Arrogants before them. Centuries of being beset by enemies and on all sides taught us to fear and mistrust those not of our clan. That is why we kept our art such a closely guarded secret. But when you came to our rescue that day, you acted without a thought for your own safety to aid those in need. This is the true essence of the Gunbreaker. You have your own ideals to protect, your own promises to keep. Go forth, Joriana, and follow your path, wherever it may lead. That was cool. What is the animation to getting a new skill though? Yeah, master new technique. Oh, it's just a sign. It's the exact same animation. That's a little disappointing. Not gonna lie. I was really hoping for a new animation. In order to undertake the next Gunbreaker quest, you must first meet the following requirements. Ensnare shadowbringers and that's probably the tank role quest. Until then, he will stay here. Alright, Dancer next. Sworn Protector. Oh yeah, I've gotten Goldsmith up to level 80, by the way. It's my most leveled up job. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. Now for the Dancer story. This is my Dancer glamour right now. I'm just using the Pagos outfit, you know? It's all just Pagos stuff. Plus the necklace, I mean the... Not this thing. Yeah, the Redbill scarf that you get from the Heavensward Alliance raid. Oh yeah, and this thing, the antiquated chivalrous circlet, that's a paladin thing. But outside of that, the rest of the outfit is all Pagos stuff. A soiree? Wait, sorry, what was the name again? A soiree in the Sultanate. Okay. Well, if it isn't my star pupil, you couldn't have come at a better time. A messenger just arrived. It would appear that Master Gegerujo has received a response from his friends in the Sultanate. As for the details, he will deliver them to us in person. Why don't you go on ahead to his villa? We'll fetch Rana and be along shortly. Well, it isn't my second favorite dancer. Good news, my girl. Thanks to the highest recommendation of yours truly, my friends at the Syndicate would be more than happy to host one of your performances in Ul'dah. You have our deepest gratitude, Master Kagerujo. Truly, your generosity knows no bounds. Think nothing of it. Your performance gave me a thrill I'll not soon forget. And, while I'd love nothing more than to keep you all to my own, I'd be remiss if I didn't share my most remarkable discovery with the rest of the realm. That goes for you in particular, my lovely Rana. You may be a bit rough around the edges, but that just adds to your untamed, dare I say feral, allure. Nothing would make me happier than to go down in history as the man who introduced your beauty to Eorzea. Why, Master Kagerujo, you're making me blush. Yeah, that'll take me. I simply can't bear the thought that you've performed on my stage for the last time. You'll grace me with one final farewell performance, won't you? Surely, after all I've done for you. Our apologies, Master Kagerujo, but we must not keep our audience in the Sultanate waiting. After all, this is but the second stop on our journey. A journey we must see through to the end. And besides, while your words to Rana and us all great honor, words do Rana and us all great honor, I must remind you that the girl is still an apprentice, Excess praise can lead to overconfidence, overconfidence to carelessness, and carelessness to an untimely fall, just like the dark side of the Force. Do you hear me, Bruna? The dark side of dancing. Force dancing. Ever thought about how they use the Force speed in Star Wars Episode 1? The Phantom Menace, I think it's in that one. They use Force speed and then it just never shows up ever again in the entire franchise. Or at least that I know of. Well, now I'm making it up. Now I'm making up Force dancing. You hear me, Rana? No matter what glowing words your admirers may heap upon you, remember that your journey as a dancer has only just begun. Keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, lest you stumble on the road to achieving your full potential. But of course, and yet it's truly inspiring to have such a devoted fan, is it not? Quite helps me appreciate just how much I've blossomed as a dancer in such a short time. I do not mean to make light of your achievements. I ask only that you stay focused on the task at hand. Continue to hone your craft and not let yourself get swept away by unchecked emotion. And with that, we should be taking our leave. Master Kekiruju, we thank you for your patronage and hospitality. When our business in Eorzi is done, we will return to fully express our gratitude. I did not feel compelled to travel with the troop, Joriana. I trust that you have matters of your own that you would attend to along the way. We shall await you in Ul'dah. Believe me, I do not. I do not. I have nothing. My map is clean. So this is Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert. But we're not here to see the sights. No, we must decide upon a suitable venue for our next performance. As a matter of fact, I already have an idea. I was thinking we might put on a show in Stone's Throw, a settlement outside of town said to be home to the poor and downtrodden. Are you sure of this, Mistress Nashmeira? I agree that the arts should be enjoyed by the low-born as well as the high, but is some glorified shantytown truly the best place for us to find an audience here? I would have it no other way. Now listen to me, Joriana, and listen carefully. You will recall that I told you that our Greek stance has the unique power to clear hearts and minds of worries, and lift the spirits of all who behold it. Put another way, bringing joy and succor to the scorned and the suffering is no less than our calling in life. In Limsa as well, our audience included many who were down on their luck, and yet it did not seem those troubles weighed so heavily in their hearts. Mayhap this is a remnant of their pirate heritage, a flagon of ale in hand and a thong on the lips, and all their cares fade away. Ul'dah is different. Here I feel the scars of the calamity run deeper, particularly among those who lack the coin needed to rebuild their lives to their satisfaction. Stone's Throw it will be. I can think of no place more in need of what we offer. You there, halt! Halt, I say! You're a dancing troupe that's come at the invitation of the Syndicate, yes? On the authority of the Brass Blades, we command you to desist at once. Fear not, you have done naught wrong. It's just, well, Stone's Throw's not safe for visitors these days, you see. A group of real rabble-rousers have been causing trouble of late. You know how it is. Protests, riots, and all sorts of unpleasant business. Of course, their anger is targeted directly at Ul'dah's upper crust. Like as not, they'd leave you a troop of performers. Still, the Syndicate cannot accept the risk of its honored guests suffering an untimely injury, or worse. We appreciate your concern, but I can assure you that it is wholly unnecessary. All members of my troop are well trained in the art of self-defense. We are more than capable of taking care of ourselves. That's right. Besides, healing suffering and strife across the realm is precisely the reason we've come here. Whatever sort of struggle your people face, why not let us look into the matter and see if we can resolve it? It is a gracious offer, but no. Keeping the peace, why did I say safe? Keeping the peace is our sworn duty, and one we cannot simply impose on guests. Besides, we are trained soldiers, and you are not. For your own safety, you should take your leave of this place at once. You haven't seen these answers. I won't put attention to myself. There are no ordinary answers, you say. Well, I'm not entirely certain what you are implying. I suppose we have no reason not to take you at your word. What? Huh? What? 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 How did you change your mind so easily? What do you mean? Is your duty as a soldier just that insignificant to you? We're just looking for an excuse to be lazy? Very well then, you and your friends may carry on. Just promise that you won't go looking for trouble, eh? Just changed his tone so easily, what do you mean? That's so funny. I'm sorry, that's funny. Mr. Nashmeira, leave this to me. I'll dance up a storm for these poor folks, calm their hearts and put an end to any riots or uprisings. I admire your spirit, Rana, and yet I cannot shake the sense that great danger does indeed lurk here. You may go, but only if Juliana accompanies you, and you must promise that you will not leave her side. Alright, the more the merrier, don't you agree, Juliana? Let's make 4 stones throw. I'll race you there. You're going to arrive first. I'm sorry, I need to say something else. I'm sorry, it's just different now. I'll race you there. I'll race you there. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Sorry. I had to get that out of my system. Alright, I can just go here. I love this game, I really do. I really like this game, but sometimes it just funny stuff happens. Funny stuff happens sometimes. Oh, there you are. Let's get started, shall we? Our first task is to figure out just who's behind these riots. Why don't we split up, ask around, and see what turns up? Okay. Don't tell me you're worried about that silly promise I made to Mrs. Nashmeira. Come now, Joriana. Clearly she worries overmuch. You saw me on the stage. Do I look like someone who can't take care of herself? Now, let's see what the townspeople can tell us. Meet you back here when we're both done, alright? Riots? Aye, there have been some trouble here of late. Won't catch me dead getting myself involved. Whoever's behind it all, we should just bugger off and give us some peace and quiet for once. Of course, that doesn't stop those rat boys from glaring at me askance. Askance? Every time they come through the neighborhood. Not I can blame them, I suppose. Rumor has it that the true culprit is an expert in throwing the authorities off his trail. Okay. Looking for some rabble-rousing rioter, you say? I might know a thing or two. What's it to you? None of us here in Stone's Throw have much love for the rich, this much is true. Still, wasn't until lately when someone started talking about actually giving them their due. Thought they were just talking big, but lately it seems they've been putting their plot into action. Okay, who was it? Waiting. 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 Oh, it's a full moon. Hey, you there. You're friends with that Mikote girl? The one with the fancy dress? She was asking around about the riots, you know? Well, would you believe I actually saw her talking to one of the blackguards responsible for it all? Oh, that's just... that's really bad luck. The last thing I saw, he was leading her away somewhere. I'd go after her if I were you. Well, I wouldn't. Never had the nerve for that sort of thing. But I reckon you should before the poor thing comes to harm. There's a guard right there. You could just... well, the guard probably wouldn't do anything, to be fair. Oh, Joriana, you really saved my skin. This man told me he'd take me to the rioters' hideout. He led me here and then... well, to be honest, I'm still unsure entirely what I witnessed. It was the strangest thing. As soon as he brought me here, his body began to sway and spin the strangest way. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was dancing. Okay, sorry. But we can talk about that when we're back in safer environs. I should probably summon the brass blade and file an official report. Meanwhile, could you return to the city and let Mistress Nashmaiden know I'm alright? And tell her I'm sorry for breaking my word. Very well. Wait, no, why am I using... why am I using one of those free tickets? Bum, 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 bum. I see. I had a feeling this would happen. Do not blame yourself, Juliana. You are not her keeper. I will deal with the girl myself when she returns. That said, I am curious. What can you tell me of the strange dance she says her would-be captors were performing? That is indeed very weird. The hell? Uh... okay. That was weird. Good news, friends. Thanks to your efforts, we have apprehended the firebrand. Please choose to return to Stone's Throw for now, at least until the next rabble-rouser decides to fan the flames. Still, there is one part of the story that does not sit well with me. The girl here claims she saw her captors dancing, but those we took into custody swear to the last man they remember no such thing. What? What's going on? What? It's... my PC froze. The preview on OBS froze. Encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Is the stream still going? The preview is... the preview is stuck. I need to check on Twitch if my stream is still going. It's still going fine. Yeah, it's going fine. Weird. I guess I'll just continue like this. With the preview all wrong. Can I refresh the preview? Or something? Doesn't seem like I can. F5? No. Okay, sure. That was so weird. They denied that they were dancing? But why ever would they feel the need to lie about something so innocuous when already convicted of a far more heinous crime? Heinous crime. It's not precisely a lie. You see, from here the tale gets even stranger. They claim to have a vague recollection of their bodies moving, but insist they had absolutely no intention of doing so. They went on to say they couldn't even remember where or why they came up with the idea to write it in the first place. On the contrary, they seemed almost relieved. It's as if some evil spirit had been banished from them. Hmm. Sounds like our friends have been partaking in a particularly unstable and unsavory alchemical concoction. Yeah. At any rate, the Brass Boys will be taking over the investigation from here. Thank you for your assistance, and please carry on with the preparations for your performance with our blessing. I'm sorry, Mistress Nashmeira. I should have stayed with Joriana like you said. Together, I'm sure we could have worked things out peacefully. In the end, I was not able to dance even a single step. Just as the Greek stands can enthrall and inspire, so can it serve us in battle. A true dancer must be prepared for both possibilities at all times. Juliana was able to display her skills as a dancer in battle today. I suspect it is for that very reason that your would-be captors. But never mind that. I debuffed. I took away their debuff? Maybe? Rana, you disappoint me. It's not the lack of dancing prowess that led to your failure today. No, it was the overconfidence that led you to stray from your partner's side. When Troop Falsium dances, we dance as one. We dance to stir hearts and lift spirits, not merely to show off our skills, that our admirers might shower us with empty praise. I thought you understood this, but it is clear you still have much to learn. I am sorry, Mistress Nashmeira. I promise I will not repeat my mistake. Forgive me for making you suffer the girl's foolishness, Joriana. Though she has grown in skill, it is clear she is still a child in more ways than one. I can only hope that she will take today's lesson to heart, but she eventually pay the price. Hmm. It's a shame I can't even take away the preview from OBS just so it can refresh. Annoying. Oh well. Is that not going a bit too far? You ask much of the girl. They both mean the same thing. Both options are the same. Being a true dancer is about more than knowing how to move one's feet. I must be tougher on Rana than anyone, lest True Falthium fail to carry out its sworn duty. I can see you are confused by my words. Do not worry, all will become evident in due time. Yes, both you and Rana will understand all too well. You're applauding something. And with that, I must prepare for our forthcoming performance. This time, I will be asking Rana to take the stage alone. She may consider it her opportunity to reflect upon her actions today, and, God's willing, learn and grow from her missteps. Meanwhile, perhaps it would be best if you, too, return to your training. If you and Rana truly mean to bring out the best in one another, both of you will need work harder than ever before. Farewell for now, and let us meet up again when it's time to move on. And now, I do believe it's time I did some investigating of my own. Dances with the squites. It's good to see you again, Juliana. You see, Juliana, there was no again. You'll be pleased to hear that our exhibition in the Sultanate was a rousing success. Rana gave quite an inspired performance. To seem the girl has indeed taken her lessons to heart. That leaves Gridania as the final stop on our Free Nation tour. I meant to depart immediately, but I must confess that the curious developments in Ul'dah have given me pause. Upon our arrival, let us first pay a visit to the Adder's Nest and inquire as to any strange happenings about town. Do not ask me why, but I believe it is best we stay vigilant. Juliana, I'm sorry to say that my fears appear to have been well founded. Gridania too has seen its fair share of social unrest of late. Pray explain the situation to my colleagues, good sir. You are familiar with the Duskwite, yes? You are a clan of Elven who eschew the shackles of urban life and instead choose to live in isolation. Yeah, Path of the Dead and such. Galmora, yeah. For the most part, both sides choose to leave the other well enough alone. Recently, however, events have taken a troubling turn. Groups of Duskwites have been assembling for reasons unknown, holding secret gatherings on the outskirts of the forest. Whatever their aim, we can be quite certain that it is nothing good. By the way, you're speaking to your captain? To a captain. Do you not recognize me? Usually, even in the side quests and such, they usually recognize if you're a captain or second lieutenant or whatever. Anyway, the Twin Elder is content to let them be provided they do us no harm. But when they turn to thieving and threatening our way of life, we cannot simply turn a blind eye. To say that tensions between the Duskwites and our citizens have been rising would be an understatement. To this point, troublemakers among the Duskwite have primarily acted alone, which makes the manner in which they are now plotting something together in plain sight all the more concerning. Some here in the nest even believe that they are sowing the seeds for a violent uprising. As fortune would have it, these Duskwite rabble-rousers have recently been sighted with particular frequency in the immediate vicinity of the venue where I had hoped to hold our performance. Needless to say, we must address the immediate danger before we can even think of going forward with our performance. Juliana, Brana, let's say we investigate the matter. Together this time. Consider it done. I'll make up for my failure. Just you watch me. Once I've suited the Duskwites' hearts with my dance, writing will be the furthest thing from their minds. Thank you, friends. That settles it then. Leave the matter of the Duskwite demagogues to my colleagues here. I suppose there would be some merit in delegating the task to you, rather than risk fanning the flames between the Duskwites and our own citizens. And yet, you are a dance troupe, are you not? Are you certain that your friends here are up to the task of suppressing an armed revolt? You can be sure they are. For what it is worth, I too will be accompanying Rana and Juliana to ensure that everything is in order. Besides, there is something that I would confirm with my own eyes. And with that, we should be on our way. The Duskwites in question are said to be congregating the South Shroud. Let us meet first at the local tavern and formulate a plan of attack. Spin to win! Whee! I know I've made this joke several times already, but I don't care. Thank God that I have the Emperor's new seatbelt on. I'm sorry that I just like that joke too much. According to one of the regulars here, the Duskwite troublemakers were seen not long ago just to the northeast of here. That's not all. A rumor says that they were, and I quote, gyrating and undulating in a most curious way. Most curious way. Whatever it was that we witnessed in Thailand, it seems likely that it's afflicted the people here as well. We must investigate the matter with all speed. Come now. Come, now. Meh. Whatever. Has Whisperon... Has your dialogue changed at all? Okay, no, it hasn't changed. Juliana, Mr. Nashmeira, I think I saw something. Over there, behind the bushes. And we just walk there. It's kind of interesting. I don't think we've seen... How do you have a Quan? Anyway, I don't think we've seen actual Duskwite elephants in anything. Main story or side quests, they're pretty rare. I know one showed up in the Lancer class quest, but I don't remember any others. There are probably others, of course, but it's still interesting. That's it, that's the same creepy dance I saw in Ul'dah. The dance of the damned. Yes, it is just as I feared. He probably goes well with the Song of Oblivion from the Bard shop quest. I'll explain everything in good time. For the moment, just leave them to me. Of course, the Song of Oblivion turned out to just not exist, if I remember correctly. It was from the Heavensward Bard shop quest. Begone, meddlers, leave us to our dancing. What in the... My legs! It's as if they have a mind of their own. A dark sprite. Ooh. Wow. Well, you're gonna have injuries again. Mr. Nashmeira, look out! Aiding. Okay. Forgive me, Juliana, and thank you. And to think I was scolding poor Rana for her overconfidence. In my heyday, I would have made short work of that thing. But alas, those days are long behind me. Don't be too hard on yourself, Mr. Snashmera. We all have our bad days, and besides, it's not as if you were just being reckless like me. But never mind that, what in the world did I just see? That creepy dance, that strange cloud of black ether? What does all this mean, Mr. Snashmera? Come now, I know you know more than you let on. I do, and I fully intend to share my knowledge with you, once I have seen what I must see with my own 2 eyes. In the meantime, someone should hand over these men to the Twin Adders. I suppose you're right. We must treat your wounds as well. Juliana, could I ask you to return to the Adder's Nest and deliver our report? I'll tend to Mr. Snashmera's scratches and see that no other troublemaking does quite show up. Oh, by the way, I remember now. Last stream, when I unlocked Dancer, I was wondering when I had heard that song before. I probably heard it and knew that it's from, I think, Gin said Final Fantasy IX? Maybe? But then I also said that I remember it having lyrics. Now I remember why. I just remembered it's from Jokat's Crap Guide to Final Fantasy XIV video for a ranged DPS. It's from there. I remember the lyrics from there. What's this? You apprehended the Dust Squad miscreants for us? Splendid. On behalf of all of Gridania, you have our gratitude. We will dispatch a unit to the South Shroud at once. My apologies for the delay, Juliana. I'm pleased to report that our Dancing Dust Squad friends have been handed over to the proper authorities, and Rena's patched up my wounds good as new. With sufficient rest, I should be back on the stage in no time. Not on my watch, you won't? I mean, pray do not overexert yourself, Mr. Snashmane. Need your rest. I told you I could have handed over the culprits myself. I know, Rena, and yet I wanted to be there myself when they awoke. It played out exactly as I expected. They remembered little or nothing about their dancing, their secret gatherings, or any of the conversations that led up to it all. Just being stubborn, no doubt. Worry not, friends, the Twin Adders will carry out a proper interrogation. And yet, one thing concerns me. Is it true that these events bear a striking similarity to a situation you witnessed in Ulda? What we have witnessed is none other than the Totentans. I usually have a much easier time actually saying words, but these are hard. The Dance of the Damned. It is our God's given duty as dancers to see that it is never danced again. Use your thinking mode in unison. The Dance of the Damned? Our mission? Whatever are you rambling about, Mr. Snashmera? I thought our mission was to lend strength and succor to the suffering and lift the spirits of the realm? That it is. And yet the truth of exactly what this entails runs far deeper. Throughout our storied history, the dancers of true Falsium have saved countless lands time and again from a fate most dire. When war and calamity ravage the land, fear and anger fill men's hearts. These emotions fester, reacting with the ether around us. In the air we breathe, the ground beneath our feet, to form an etheric manifestation of malaise that spreads like dark clouds across the land, manifestation of mayonnaise. The weak, downtrodden, the scorned and suffering. Sadly, it is these people who are often quickest to fall prey to dark despair. Left unchecked, the shadow fully consumes them. Their hearts, their minds. In the end, even control of their very limbs is taken from them. Stripped of the last semblances of sanity, they flail about in a manner most hideous. Tales tell of mothers blissfully unaware as they trample their beloved children. Men who dance so violently they rip the limbs from their own body. This is the Totem Dance, the Dance of the Damned. Oh, okay. That is Yeah, that's kinda terrifying. What madness is this? If you speak true, and this damnable dance you speak of arises from the fear and anger in people's hearts, why not manifest itself in the wake of the calamity in Eorze's darkest hour? That is a good question, Gavin. Call me mad, but I think I understand. In times of greatest crisis, just surviving for another day requires all the strength we can muster. People have neither the time nor the freedom of mind to dwell on emotions like hatred or anger. That's a good answer, Rena. Rena has the right of it. It is precisely at this time, a time when Eorzea has made great stride in its recovery, yet deeper wounds still go undressed, that your people are most susceptible to that damnable dance. I mean, I'll just say that it's that, and also the fear of Garland invasion. I mean, we just recently had that whole thing in Giblet Dark, and there's the rumor going around that Xenos is actually alive and such. I think that would bring about those emotions very easily. So that is why our art was born so many ages ago. Not just to drive out the darkness from people's hearts in a figurative sense, but to literally cast out etheric shadows and free the afflicted from the clutches of the Totentines. Yes, this is a truth of true Falsium, passed down from principle to principle for generations. What I did for the Duskwights was to use my dance to extract the darkness from their hearts and give it physical form that can then be struck down and banished. It has been several centuries since the menace of the Totentans last reared its ugly head. To be honest, when we first came to Eorzea, I wasn't sure as to what we would encounter. So as not to worry the two of you overmuch, I kept the truth from you. Yet now that I have seen it with my own eyes, our mission could not be more clear. As inheritors of the Kriegstans, we must chase the shadow of the Totentans from this realm. I beg forgiveness for the secrecy, my friends, and ask that you lend me your aid. You can count on me. Of course you can count on us. After all, Julian and I are dancers of true Falsium too. It's like you always say, the dancer never abandons her partner. Why should you have to carry the burden of saving the whole realm all by yourself? Nah, Juliana, after all of my harsh words and hidden truths, you are far too kind. I must confess that I still am struggling to understand all this. But one thing is clear, this dancing epidemic you speak of poses a grave danger to our realm. I will contact the other grand companies immediately and apprise them of the threat. Should there be any reports of similar phenomena in other nations, we would like to call upon you to deal with the matter. Forgive us imposition, but clearly this is beyond our ability. Leave it to us. Nothing would honor us more than if the nations of Eorzea would place their trust in true Falsium and allow us to perform for their people. I like to call this Louis Wasdin. And with that, only Ishgard and Alamigo remain on our itinerary. Of the two, Ishgard has had more time for its people to recover from the scars of war. Let us make it our next destination. At any rate, we will need more time to properly prepare for the confrontation ahead. In the meantime, Rana, you are to continue your performances. You require more practice still before I can bequeath to you all the secrets of the Kriegstans. Can count on me, Mistress Nashmeira. And you, Juliana, pray continue to hone your skills in battle. If we hope to prevail against the Totentans, we will need your martial skills as much as we need your dancing. For now, it is not enough that we lure the shadows out of people's hearts. We must dispel the darkness for good, lest it simply drift on until it finds another unsuspecting host. Yes, we will be needing your strength more than ever. Nod. And with that, I too should prepare myself. Our true last act draws ever closer at hand. That was a long cutscene. Okay. High stepping in the Holy See. Ah, Juliana, your timing is impeccable. I just received word from Ishgard. The powers that be have decided to help to welcome True Falsium with open arms. Fortunately, there are no rumors to suggest that the Totentans has already struck in the city, or any of the surrounding regions in Curtis. And yet, word has it that some of the less privileged residents of the city have grown increasingly vocal of late. Not entirely unlike what we witnessed in Ulda, we must be vigilant. And so I would like to ask you and Renat to make for the Holy See as soon as you are able. I will join you, but I fear my wounds are not healing as quickly as I had hoped. I would only slow you down. Leave it to us, Mistress Nashmeira. No matter what shadows plague the people's hearts, there will be no match for your two favorite proteges. Come, Joriana, Ishgard awaits us. Which way was it again? Up. Just north. Why did I just nod? Why did you nod? That doesn't answer my question. Where did you go, Renat? You went before I could even give you an answer. Why? My arms and legs feel like they are going to freeze and snap off like icicles. How can you even bear this, Juliana? Mind over matter. I've gotten used to it. I got the whole expansion here. I suppose I just need to grin and bear it then. Oh well, once we start dancing it should warm us up in no time. Anyhow, our first order of business is to pay our respects to our hosts. I've been told that one Sir Handelope awaits us at a place they call the Congregation. I take it that you know the way? And yet you're leading. I already have the job thing. Whatever. Why did that dash not make any sound? Weird. Is my game lagging? It might be lagging a bit. Well, my Juliana, it's always a pleasure to welcome you back to Ishgard. Though I must say, I did not expect to see you return to us as a member of a traveling dance troupe. Just wait until you see her on stage. She's a sight to behold. Oh, but forgive me, my name is Rana Amigo, and I thank you for opening the gates of your fair city to True Falsium. The pleasure is ours. I must confess that I found a report from our friends at the Twin Nether regarding this dance of the damned somewhat difficult to believe. But if even a great hero like Juliana here would come all the way here for this purpose, I would be a fool to dismiss the threat. And yet I have questions. The instructions from your Mistress Nashmeira called for rounding up prominent members of the commoner class and sitting them front and center at your performance. I do not object, of course, but whatever purpose is meant to serve. The Totentans is a plague that spreads from one man's heart to the next, and those whose hearts weigh heaviest with anger, fear, and unease are often the first to fall prey to its clutches. If we can assemble influential members of the community and free their hearts from shadow before disaster strikes, these men and women could in turn raise the spirits of their peers. Mistress Nashmeira believes this is our best hope for curtailing the spread of the Totentans. Where the leaders go, so others will follow. I suppose it is as logical a course of action as any. Very well. I have already identified suitable personages and extended to them an invitation to your performance. The venue will be before the Gates of Judgment. We believe this location will be most accessible to those who live outside the city walls. Thank you kindly, my good sir. Well then, Juliana, we'd best get on our way. We don't want to keep our audience waiting out there in the freezing cold, do we? Oh, why did I remind myself of the cold? It's cold. Your audience awaits you before the Gates of Judgment. I will leave matters in your capable hands. That said, your friend, Rana, was it? Seems quite sensitive to the chill in the air. Perhaps she should consider donning a nice warm coat when she's not performing? Yeah, that's actually a good... yeah. She should. Bye, bye. There we go. I really like... sorry, it's just one thing. I know I have very little time to stream, but there's one thing about The Realm Reborn that I really like over Heavensward and Stormblood, and that is the field themes are just a little more creative in a way. I hope that makes sense. They don't just use the leitmotif over and over and over and over again, you know? That's what I mean. They're all amazing, and they're freaking awesome. I love the field themes, I love the town themes in Heavensward and Stormblood. But I don't know, in The Realm Reborn they're just more unique and creative. They have their own leitmotifs to make it they have their own leitmotifs and themes and such. I love it. While in Heavensward and Stormblood, they all use the same leitmotif, and while it's all different and made amazingly, they're all really well done, they still all feel like the same at the same time. So it comes across as less creative and less unique. I hope that's understandable. I hope I'm making myself clear. Not saying it's bad, just makes them less unique. It all feels like a little samey. Talk about an imposing audience. Now let's give them a show to remember. Oh, and Joriana, let's keep the true purpose of our performance to ourselves, alright? We don't want to cause a panic after all. If we can draw out and dispel the darkness before the Totentanz strikes, our task will be that much easier. And besides, we want our audience to enjoy the show, don't we? I must admit I'm a bit nervous, but I know we'll be fine if we trust in each other. Alright, here goes nothing. Watch closely and follow my lead. Ladies and gentlemen, fair citizens of the Holy See, hailing from distant Razathan in the east, we are Troop Falcian. Today we dance for you the Kriegstanz, an ancient art passed down to us from the days of yore. Though the Kriegstanz was born on the battlefield, it is a dance that brings healing and succor. Their people suffered for too long the horrors of the Dragon Song War. Let our performance fill your heart with hope and heal any scar that may still linger. And now, without further ado, let the show begin. I've never seen dancing like this before. It stirred the very depths of my soul. As watching her, I can feel all my pain and anger melting away. Whoa, that's big. Oh, hi. How you doing? I know you. I've seen you before. Pay no mind to those ominous clouds. It's all part of the performance, you see. Yes, True Falcian spares no expenses in treating our audience to a spectacle for the senses. That's your cue, Joriana. Now sweep those nasty shadows away. You didn't need to get so close. Why didn't you pull your weapons out? Come on. I hate RNG. I hate RNG so much. Why is it so bad? Okay. There have been so many times while playing as a dancer that it doesn't feel like it's a 50% chance. It really doesn't. Well, to be fair, any percentage doesn't matter the game or whatever it is. If it's not 100%, then it might as well just be 0%. When I received a sudden invitation to this performance, I didn't know what to expect, but that was simply remarkable. Ever since the show ended, my mind is clear, and all my troubles just don't seem so bad anymore. And I the same. I must say the last scene where those fearsome shadow beasts appeared was particularly dramatic and invigorating. It's the strangest feeling. Even though my lot in life hasn't changed one bit, I feel like I'll be able to face tomorrow with my head held high. Yay! Aw, you folks are far too kind. Brady, thank you, one and all. Never in my life have I felt so proud to be a dancer. Nothing quite like seeing all those smiling, satisfied faces, don't you agree, Joriana? Just the thought that we were able to bring a measure of happiness and hope to these proud, strong people makes all the hard hours of training worthwhile. And can you believe it? We were even able to stave off the shadows before the Totem Times even struck. I do believe we've more than done Ashmeira proud. I dare say our job here is done, so why don't we head back to Gridania and share the good tidings with everyone? I'll race you there. You're going to walk all the way to Gridania? I mean, I did that. I shouldn't judge. Out of literally anyone else ever, I shouldn't judge, but still. Where is she? Juliana, it's Mrs. Nashmeira. She's gone. Settle down, Rana. Nothing ill has befallen our leader. She has simply taken a leave of absence, entirely of her own volition. Then she had a matter to attend to with an old friend. The same friend who introduced her to our patron Master Gegeruju, if I recall. Oh. It's a friend that has been like propagating, I think that's the word, like spreading the Totem Tans and all that, isn't it? She was reluctant to go into detail, but it would seem this individual is also familiar with the Totem Tans, has been researching the situation in Alamigo on our behalf. Miss Nashmeira means to join her there and scout out a suitable venue for our ultimate performance. She has asked that you and Rana continue training on your own until such time as she summons us. Would have killed her to at least wait for our report? Or does this mean that she actually trusts us? If Mistress Nashmeira believes in our ability to handle affairs, I suppose we owe her the same in return. Now that Alamigo has finally been freed from the Garoian yoke, surely it's only a matter of time before its people are ready to welcome us with open arms. At the same time, much like Ishgard, it's the land whose people have known more than their fair share of suffering. We will need to be at our best to deliver them from the dance of the damned. You know what that means, Joriana. We must train with greater discipline than ever before. Technical step. Ooh. Okay, cool. Great news, Joriana. A post-Mughal just dropped off this letter from Mistress Nashmeira. He says the stage has all been set for our performance in Alamigo. It just reminded me that I really want the post-Mughal quests back, but they aren't back. You just reopened an old wound. Rana. You really did. Why, she's even scouted out what she claimed is an ideal venue to host our exhibition. A village called Alaganha that sits in the Giravanian Highlands. Doubtless in part due to its location near the border, there are considerable fears among the villagers that the Guardians will return and retake their home with a vengeance. In other words, it is precisely the sort of place where the Totentans is likely to strike. At any rate, Mistress Nashmaid assures me that she and her secretive acquaintance have made all the necessary preparations. The Alamegan resistance, she says, has seen fit to ensure that Alaganha's most prominent residents will be in attendance. If we can perform as we did in Ishgard and swiftly dispel the darkness from their hearts, surely they will be able to influence their fellow villagers and stave off the onset of the Totentans. And what did she say at the very end of her letter? Ah yes, Rana, Shuriana, the success of our tour and the very hope of Troop Falsium itself rides on you. I'm counting on you to rise to the occasion. Are you as excited as I am? Let's make this a show for the ages. And with that, let us set out for the Alagantha. We mustn't keep Mistress Nashmeira waiting. Ah, there you are, Juliana. Have you, by chance, seen Mistress Nashmeira? I can't find her anywhere, but I'm sure she'll be along soon. Not she won't miss our performance for the world. By the way, personal space, please. And look what I found. I scoured the troop's wardrobe to find outfits befitting our grand finale. One thing's for certain, we'll be dressed to impress. And remember, mum's the word about the Totentans, alright? We want our audience to enjoy the performance without worrying themselves with the terrible truth behind it all. Well then, whenever you're ready to take the stage, you know where to find me. That's the level thing. Is it, Juliana, ready to raise the curtain on our final act? Woo! Nice. So close and yet so far. For all who cannot make the voyage to our home, we bring our art to yours. Hailing from Razat Khan across the sea, I present incomparable, transcendent Troop Fascia. I'm there too. Today we performed for you the ancient dance of our ancestors, a spectacle to stir the heart, enrich the mind, and chase away the shadows of doubt that plague your soul. Feast your eyes upon the Kriegstands. I'm probably not saying that right. It sounds like a German word, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I mean, it has the vibes of a German word anyway. It might not be, of course. What? That's new. That's a new design. Looks like one of those biblically accurate angels, but like dark. And yeah, of course, as I have said before many times, the biblically accurate angels aren't biblically accurate, really, but it's still fun. Right on cue. Alright, Juliana, let's take out that nasty thing before our audience realizes it's not just for show. Look at those enraptured faces. The excitement in the air is almost palpable. They know they're about to get a show the likes of which they've never seen. The Omegas are counting on us, Juliana, in more ways than they themselves even know. We must dance. Now stop dancing till every last shadow has been purged from their hearts. The performance we were born to give. It's probably going to be a really cool fight. Oh, yeah, we're going to have that music play in the background too. That's awesome. The biggest audience yes, which means we're in for a tough fight. But if we dance, that's our dance, there won't be any to stop us. How curious. Wrong one. I could have sworn that shadowy man just popped out from within my own body. But I'm sure it's just part of the performance. Time to sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, now I'm... Man, I didn't time this right. I used devilments way before I should have used it. Bonds of walls, sand, fire, and faith. Coming at us, Julian, don't let them touch you. Easy enough. The big one. Stay strong with me, Juliana. Yep. Wait, it seems... Oh, that's made it. She might be the most stunning yet. But she also gave me that woman. That's cool. You're strong, keep your focus. Fight as one. Is it just one? Should be a sight to behold. Misery. That's all we need. We must move quickly. Okay. Another one of them. Or strength. We do? You do? It's done. Are you ready to do this? Thanks for you. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not doing shadowbringers today. Definitely not. I don't have time at all. Oh, I feel like I skipped something there. There's probably more to it, I think. It feels like there was more to it, but I maybe killed it too quickly? Not sure. Mr. Nashmera. Oh, I knew you wouldn't miss our grand finale. And you're dancing. Why, you were every bit as enchanting as I remembered from all those years ago. Sharing the stage with you truly was a dream come true. Simply had to make amends for my embarrassing display in Gridania, did I not? My wounds had all but healed entirely, so I redoubled my training efforts after arriving here in Alamigo. I dare say I feel as spry as I have in years. And yet there can be no doubt. You and Juliana were the true stars today. To think that you have come so far in such a short span of time. Mayhap I should have just admired their performance from the wings instead of stepping in. That Meira. I seem to recall you telling me just the other day that the girl was still not ready for the spotlight. Kikarujo. Oh, right, Flamen. Right, yeah, they made it quite clear actually in the last stream, or at least I remember speaking that, thinking it would be Flamen. Well, Lamen. You know me, Lamen. I'm strict with my students because I expect only the best from them, and these two have done me proud today. Nice meeting you here, Juliana. I must admit that it gave me quite a start when my Meira here told me that you, of all people, has joined her merry little troop. Mary and I go far, far back, you know. After those horrific events unfolded in Ulda, I hid away in Thavner for some time. It was then that we first made each other's acquaintance. Song and dance go together rather well, needless to say, and our friendship rapidly blossomed. When she turned to me for assistance in planning Troop Falsium's tour of Eorzea, I was more than happy to do my part. It does not surprise me that an accomplished adventurer would have many friends across the realm, but never would I have suspected you and my dear Lamen were so close. Truly, fate must have brought us together for a reason. I feel the same. Your presence alone has motivated me to grow in ways I never would have thought possible. You have given me the courage, strength, and determination to be more than what I was. Hey there. Thought I recognized that face from somewhere. Hi, Dragonfried. How you doing? From liberated Valamigo to traveling performer, eh? Not the path I have predicted. But I'm hardly surprised to see you emerge triumphant in whatever you do. Aye, that was truly a performance for the ages. Here in Awagangha, we don't get much exposure to foreign cultures. Rather stimulating, that was. Especially the grand finale, where you chased off those bloody shadow beasts. Got the blood pumping, I'd say. I only wish there was more we could do to show our appreciation. Think nothing of it, my good sir. Just knowing that we've brought a measure of joy to our amigo in its time of need is reward enough for us. Too kind you are, miss. The road ahead for us is a long one, but thanks to you, we can stride down it with a spring in our step. Know that our village is always open to you, should you ever be willing to grace us with another performance. Farewell, friends. That was nice. Phew, for a second I thought he realized the true nature of those shadows. But no, the threat of the Totentans is gone for now, and seems no one's the wiser. That is heartening indeed, and with that we should prepare for our departure. The Almigans were kind enough to invite us in these trying times. We mustn't linger so long that our presence becomes a burden. I too should be on my way. It was a pleasure and honor both to see you on the stage again, Meira. And you as well, Juliana. Till our paths cross again, go in safety. Oh, cute. Well, that's a lot of it. Our props are packed up and we're ready to take the road. I must say, it's a touch bittersweet knowing that this was our last performance, but I suppose even the best of things must come to an end. Mr. Snashmera will go ahead to Insolominsa to secure us passage back to Razat Khan. You'll stop by and see us off, yes? We'd like to pay you proper thanks before taking our leave of this land. Bye-bye. I really don't like. Okay. There are Aetherites that are fine and they're good, but then there are Aetherites like in Limsa Lominsa here, and I think Ishgard does this too sometimes. Yeah, I think Ishgard does this, and I'm not sure if Kugane does this, but they teleport you just a tiny bit away from the Aetherite, just enough that you can't use it as soon as you arrive. You have to get closer to it, and I really don't like that. It really ticks me off. Really pushes all the wrong buttons, it just doesn't sit right with me. It makes no sense. Ul'dah and Gridania have never betrayed me though. At least. You spawn really close to the Aetherite there. Juliana, I'm so touched. You really did come to see us off. Thank you ever so much for all you've done. It was an honor to tour Eorzea with you, and bring strength and succor to its people. You have my gratitude as well, Juliana. The people whose hearts you have touched will, in turn, inspire others. Yes, before long the dance of the damned will be but a memory. And yet, until that time, we cannot let down our guard. Suppose that we extend our tour of Eorzea, in the event that there are yet people in this realm who still require our aid. You truly mean this, Mistress Nashmeda? Julia and I can keep dancing together? No, but for gameplay reasons, no. In good time, Rana, yes, but Julian is an adventurer, and one whose services are justifiably in high demand. It would not be very considerate of us to monopolize her services for our ends. And so we bid you farewell for now. Rana and I will remain in Winsa, and consult with Master Gegeruju about potentially extending our tour to new locations. Pray come back and visit us on occasion, yes? When you're level 80, and have saved the first for whatever it is. How do you know about that? Rena gets awfully lonely without company. Oh, so you're just going to continue, like, you just didn't say that you know what the first is, and all the other shards? Hey, that's not... Well, I suppose it is true. Keep dancing, Juliana, and let us eagerly await the day that we can take the stage together anew. And no new animation, which... The Heavensward animation for when you get a new skill for this is just the best. Just 1, 2, 3, oh! I will never forget it. Courage born of fear. Wait, sorry? No friends of mine? A new chapter of New Game Plus has been added. The step gauges featured are further expanded. Performing a technical step will display 4 icons on the step gauge. Executing the corresponding actions will, in the correct order, followed by technical finish, increases the damage dealt by you and nearby party members. Right. Performing a standard step changes the appearance of the step gauge and causes you to start dancing. Following the displayed icons to execute steps in the correct order and ending with standard finish will increase your damage dealt, that of the party member designated as your dance partner. Okay, so hold on a second. Before I end the stream, technical step. Standard step. Whoa. Oh, wait, wrong button. Whoa, that's a big one. Damage dealt is increased. Damage dealt is increased. Okay. $1,200. Oh. Oh yeah, it's a lot more damage. 1200 potency. That's pretty good. 30 yalms. I think this one is also 30 yalms. Oh wait, no. Step bonus grants technical finish to self and party members within 40 yalms. Damage bonus of technical finish varies with number of successful steps. Okay, sure. That is really cool, actually. Okay. I will leave it here then. And Wednesday, I think it will have to be Wednesday. I will continue. I will continue and start off Shadowbringers. Yeah, till then, bye bye. Thank you, Wright, for being here in the beginning for a while also. And just playing, like throwing snowballs. It was fun. Thank you. Yeah, bye bye. See you Wednesday, I think. The latest will be Wednesday, yeah.